let's go. This is Remmel,
Yep,
and you are from Steve and Seagulls.
that's correct.
And are you currently in Finland at the moment?
I am in Finland. I'm in my car, actually. There's plenty of stuff to do today because we're leaving tomorrow. We have a show in Finland and then we're flying off to your place. So I'm in the middle of a couple of things over here.
Fair enough. Well, we had an interview in a tour bus yesterday. We've got a car today. We're downsizing. We'll be in a box cart tomorrow, I think, with somebody.
All right.
So a little bit about the band. You've Steven Seagull. I've got to ask. I know the band's been going for a while. I know you've been asked this before. Is the name anything to do with a certain action film star, or is that just a coincidence?
Well, well, we grew up in the 80s, early 90s, so
Yeah.
that certain actor has definitely left a mark in our imagination and brain. But yeah, his some of his movies might have some influence, but not necessarily the actor himself.
Fair enough. I was just curious, when you actually Google your band, one of the things that turns up on the right-hand side is people also search for, and the first one is Steven Seagal. I'm just wondering how many people misspell his name and discover you guys instead.
Yeah, I've never thought of it that way actually, but maybe sometimes, yeah, I could see that happening.
It's a good trick. So you guys play bluegrass versions of songs that most of our readership are probably going to be aware of, rock and metal tracks. You've been going since the early 2000s, is that right? Quite a while?
Yeah, I think the band originally started in 2010. We tour I joined in 2013, so it's been 10 years now. But yeah, at first it was more of like a side project, but then come 2014, we did a couple of videos and they kind of changed a lot of stuff for us. So since 2014, we've been touring internationally too.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's Finland's got quite the reputation for a metal haven. Everyone's aware of like the metal karaoke bars and the fact that half your year is spent in complete darkness, which is about as metal as it gets.
Yeah.
It's kind of unusual to hear a band that's, rather than being pure metal, has got its influences from it, plays in a different style. Are any of the members of the band in, or have they ever been in a traditional metal band before, or are you just fans of the music?
Uh, well, personally, my first band we played songs from Black Sabbath, stuff like that. We composed our own heavy metal songs when we were, I don't know, 13, 14 or something like that. Um, I think a lot of some of the other guys have also played in bands, like metal bands, when they were younger.
Mhm.
I think even in 2006, 7, 8, I played bass guitar in a band that was kind of leaning towards metal. There was a lot of influence from there, but there was also a little bit different influence there. So it wasn't 100% what you would call maybe traditional metal. But yeah, we got background in that, and I personally still I just love to listen to. I just went to see Raised Fist from they're from Sweden. They played here in Finland, and that was a really nice mosh pit and a good show. So I enjoyed that kind of stuff.
So for people who've not seen you before, we'll talk about the dates shortly. I'll be catching you guys next week, I think it is. How does the show go? Is it more of like what people would think of a bluegrass show, or is the audience reaction a bit more like, let's get in a pit and have stage divers and crowd surfers and stuff, or is it somewhere in the middle?
I think it's somewhere in the middle, depending on the venue too, and every evening is different. I was just talking to somebody last week about the what do you say, like the type of people that come to our shows, or I was asked that what kind of people come to our shows, and I said that it's really hard to say because there might be people from 10 years old all the way to 60, 70 years old, depending on the country, depending on the venue. So sometimes there's a big mosh pit going on. We've had some wall of death going, and sometimes it's more like a seated venue where people like to attend it, like a concert type thing. So everything in between. So it's really hard to say, but I would say it maybe leans a little bit more towards like a rock show
Mhm.
because we have a drum set and there's a lot of stuff happening on stage too. And even some of our original songs are leaning towards like harder music, maybe. We
Yeah.
got some country and bluegrass flavor there too. So it's a mixture of a lot of things. It's really hard to describe, actually.
I was going to ask, you mentioned there about original songs as well. Obviously, you're famous for the cover versions. That's what launched you with the YouTube videos and so forth.
Yeah.
How much of your output would you say is original material compared to covers these days? Is it about 50-50, or is it still more the cover side of things?
Um, on the latest album, there was about 50-50 there.
Mhm.
Um, on the second album there was one. On the third album there was three originals.
Mhm.
So I would say live shows we still play more like classic tracks, rearranged classic tracks. But there's some originals in there too. So, but I think there's more cover songs or rearranged classics there.
Mhm.
But we also play some originals too.
Cool. I was talking to a chap called Peach from Punk Rock Factory yesterday, who are a band
Mhm.
not dissimilar to yourselves in the fact that they take other people's music, rearrange it. And I mentioned to him that quite a few people I know, including one of our photographers, have this issue with covers bands.
Mm.
In fairness, they've got a band which makes its money just from turning out and playing somebody else's songs the way they were played. Like with Punk Rock Factory and yourselves, I wouldn't class you as a covers band. You're rewriting the music. How much of a challenge is it to take somebody else's song, a classic that people know, and turn it into something new, but still maintaining the flavor? Is that a different challenge or a more enjoyable challenge than writing your own material? Are they different skill sets, would you say?
Um, that's actually a really good question. Well, first of all, thank you. We also like to consider ourselves as more of a band who rearranges songs or kind of creates new versions, and not necessarily as a cover band. But yeah, it's a different kind of work when you have like a good song with really strong riff or a melody, and then you start kind of digging into that songs that what can you find from here? What kind of melody lines and what kind of little things that you can um, transfer to another arrangement of the song. So when it comes to writing own material, it's you start off from a blank piece of paper.
Yeah.
So every step on the way, you're kind of ready to throw everything out, throw everything to the trash because you don't know if it's usable or something like that. But when you have a really good classic track, you know there's a good song in there, and there's. But then on the other hand, you don't want to go same direction as the original. So,
Yeah.
like you said, it calls for a different kind of skill set to work on, um, like rearranging a classic song. So I would say it's a different ball game in general,
Mhm.
but they're both like really a lot of work and a lot of hard work. I mean, even though there's a lot of fun side to us and a lot of humor on stage, but when it comes to music or rearranging or writing songs, we really take it seriously. So we put a lot of effort to the music side of the band. So
Yeah, we often hear the term comedy band thrown around an awful lot, not necessarily yourselves, but again, I think what people often don't realize is the comedy is the stage show. And the band are actually taking things really seriously behind the scenes. You can't put on a good show unless you're actually good at what you do. Making it funny is just that little extra level on top of things.
yeah, and I think the fun side comes from that we actually have a really good time on stage. We love playing the songs and we like playing different kinds of instruments and we like to drink beer. So when you combine that to good music that you grew up with, like Pantera or Metallica or whatever, it's I think the fun kind of comes from there. We don't necessarily aim to like before the show let's plan to do this or whatever, but it's more like it happens there. Mistakes happen and weird things happen, and shit breaks down on stage, and all kinds of stuff. So it's
Rock and roll.
yeah, it's it's rock and roll. Yeah, there you There you go.
You just mentioned beer there as well. You're going to be one of the few bands that visits the UK and actually finds it cheap to buy a drink over here, given what the prices are like in Finland. I've been there.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
No, luckily I live in quite a small town here in Finland, so our price levels are okay. But let's say for beer, it's way less expensive in UK. So that's one thing that we're really looking forward to. I think we only have like 1 day off on the tour, so it's gonna be pretty tight schedule. But I think we'll be able to find a place here or there to get a beer or two. So
Yeah, certainly, pretty much most of the venues will be supplying you with it anyway. So,
well, yeah.
Certainly, I know that the Cat House you're playing in Glasgow, you won't be short of people buying your beer at the merch stand in Glasgow for certain.
Come again?
I think when you're in Glasgow, you're playing the Cat House. You'll find quite a few people at the merch stand will be happy to stand you for a pint. So,
That sounds good.
Yeah, don't go putting your hand in your pocket.
All right.
Just a couple more questions. You mentioned the most recent album. Am I right in saying the last album came out in 2020? It's good 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Not the best time to release an album, as it turned out, really.
No. If there ever is another pandemic, which I truly hope that there won't be, do not release album in the middle of a pandemic. That didn't work. We had an unfortunate schedule that our third album came out in the timeline, so that we really wanted to get the album released, and we didn't know how long the pandemic is going to take or all the restrictions and everything. So we were able to play like one album release show in Finland, and then everything got canceled for I think 6 months or something. So.
Yeah.
But it's been 3 years already. We've been working on a new album. We were just rehearsing this Monday and Tuesday for the next recording session. We've already recorded 6 songs, I think, and we're headed back to studio in January. And so 2024, we have a new album and videos coming out too.
Excellent. Yeah, I saw on your Facebook page you're saying new music coming soon. So it's actually that far through. You're pretty much 2/3 of the way towards the recording being done, by the sounds of things.
Yeah, approximately. Yeah, I think we're gonna record another 5-6 songs, depending a little bit of the how it's gonna start, how the structure of the album is gonna start building. So we'll see about that. But we got originals and then some rearranged songs coming up. So still kind of in process of figuring out which songs will make it to the album and which won't. But we've been really happy that we've been able to record. This year has been really busy for us, which is a good thing, of course, after all the weird stuff from the past years. So we've been touring a lot this year. So it's been a little bit tricky to find time to record properly, but we did some recordings a little bit before summer we did. So
fantastic. Are we going to hear any of those new songs on the upcoming dates?
Oh, there might be something that we haven't played live before, so I think at least one or two songs. I'm pretty sure 1, 2, or 3. Actually, even 3 songs if we have time to rehearse a third one.
Good stuff. Just one thing, I was looking at the fountain of all knowledge that is Wikipedia, and it lists your musical input to the band, and we've got vocals, acoustic guitar, balalaika, mandolin, again, similar instruments, all strings, I get that. Anvil?
Yeah. When available, that whole anvil thing started with the Thunderstruck video, because we shot that video at the home farm of our accordion player, and it was their tool shed. We were just having a few beers and having a good time there, and we realized that this one anvil is actually tuned in the key of I think it was B or something. That's the same key as the song, and we ended up using that on stage or on the video. And sometimes when we play somewhere, somebody comes in with an anvil and a hammer that I found this for you guys. You want to play it? We're like, yeah, sure.
I'm just picturing some poor roadie with a big bag with an anvil on his back trying to get it onto the stage sometimes. So you don't tour with the anvil. We just made that clear.
Yeah.
You've
No,
got,
no, we don't.
you've got drum
It's
techs, guitar techs, but no anvil tech. Okay, we're good.
no, yeah. I think the airline would have something to say about that.
Yeah, I can see EasyJet going, fine, it fits under the seat, but it weighs as much as 15 passengers. You're not having that one on.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, it's I don't want to take up too much of your time. I can see it's quite chilly there. Is it actually snowing over in Finland at the minute? I can see through the windows that
Yeah, it's been snowing a little bit, but only like I don't know, 2 or 3, maybe 2 centimeters. So
Mhm.
it's this time of year you get a little bit of snowfall. It kind of goes away, but it's been quite cold. It's been I think yesterday or day before that was below 10, so like -10 Celsius.
Wow. Well,
So
it's lovely and warm here. You'll get wet though. We've had the rain, so it's in about 8-9 degrees, but it's miserable. But that's Glasgow, just pretty much all year round, to be honest with you.
our summer has been I mean, we've had so much rain that I don't know if any place in the world has had that much rain this summer. It's been crazy, but the winter is coming. I kind of I enjoy the winter. It gets chilly at
Mhm.
times and it gets a little bit more dark. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's fantastic. Well, I wish you a safe journey over. Looking forward to
thank
seeing
you.
you guys in Glasgow in a few nights. I know, just for anybody watching this, ticket sales are very good for the tour, and I know the most recent tour poster was saying low tickets available for most of the venues.
Yeah.
I think so. There's a handful left for everywhere, but only a handful. So if you want to go and catch this band, you want to grab your tickets as soon as possible. The venue list I'm looking at, we know all of them. They're great places to play. Sounds like a fantastic show as well. It will be the first time I'll have seen you. So I'm very much looking forward to the 3rd of November. I think you're playing in Glasgow. It's Friday.
Yep.
So it's a Friday night as well. I mean, what better way to end your working week than in a sweaty
Yeah.
venue with a bunch of insane Finns playing classic metal songs on traditional American country music instruments? I mean, that to me is a Friday night.
Yep. Yeah, we're really looking forward to it, and it's yeah, the pre-sales have been really good, so I think we're in for a really good party every night. So
Should be
it's
fantastic.
the
Well,
last uh tour abroad for this year too, so we're putting everything in we can put. So
yeah, and then wrap yourself up around Finland for Christmas, and then head in for the new year and the new album.
yep, that's right.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey,
Drive
thank you.
safely and fly safely, and we'll see you in a week or so.
All right, take care.
Cheers. Thanks very much indeed.
Yep, thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.